let's predict the Big East Conference tournament. One of the probably now with the Pac-12 gone, like the fifth major conference, and they've won the past two national titles with UConn. Let's see who's going to win their conference bracket. As you can see, it's a smaller tournament, only 11 teams in it. So this one will be a quick prediction. Starting off, I'm going with Providence to beat Butler. I think the Friars a little bit better than the Bulldogs this year. Clearly, 8-9. It's a 50-50 game that could go either way. And I haven't watched too much of these teams in particular, but what I have watched, I like Providence a little bit better, enough for me to go with them. And then I like Georgetown to beat DePaul, even with Thomas Sorber out, who is their top, was a first round draft prospect when he was healthy. I think the Hoyas are clearly better than DePaul, and I think it's a little bit bigger than this 3 seed gap. This one is an easy pick for me based off what I've seen these teams play. Seton Hall, Villanova. Seton Hall got crushed the last game of the season, I believe. Villanova has the number one scorer in the country in Eric Dixon. They're probably not going to make the tournament unless they win, obviously this tournament to get the automatic bid. But I do think they're clearly better than Seton Hall. I expect a big game out of Eric Dixon. Back up top, got to go St. John's here. Just dominated the Big East, even dealing with a ton of injuries. And now they're getting healthier. They have the player of the year in Luis, Kamari Richmond, very good player as well. This one's an easy pick. I don't see any reason to go with the Friars to pull the upset. Coming down for one of the harder picks of this whole bracket between Xavier and Marquette, because Xavier's playing really good ball down the stretch. Fremantle's been really good, but Marquette with Cam Jones, maybe the best guard in the country. He just in that St. John's the last game of the season, nearly went for a 30-point triple double. He's really, really good. And he did get a little banged up in the St. John's game, so hopefully he's ready to go fully healthy. And assuming he's too good of a player, in my opinion, to lose to an Xavier team that I don't see being able to shut him down the way a team that's as good. St. John's allowed that. They're one of the best defensive teams in the country. Xavier is not. I think he has a big game and leads Marquette to a victory in a rematch with St. John's. Creighton, I will take over at Georgetown. Kalkbrenner, one of the best players in the Big East. Ashford adds spacing as well. This team, I wish Papa Isaacs would have got hurt for the season because this team would have been a real threat in March. I think they're less dangerous now with him gone. He had a really good scoring punch, but still one of the best teams in the Big East, and I think they beat the Hoyas. Then UConn Villanova, I think this would be a really tight game. I think Villanova beat UConn in the regular season, if I'm remembering correctly. But this UConn team, they have the experience. They have, you would think, the better coach in Danny Hurley. McNeely, maybe the best player in this game, although obviously Eric Dixon leads the country in scoring, so I understand the argument for him. But I'm really just leaning on that UConn pedigree experience to get this win and advance to play Creighton. But that would be Villanova proved during the season they can beat UConn. They could certainly do it again here. And now if they get into the semifinals, you're talking potential bid stealer there, which could be interesting and something to look out for. Back up top, this one would be fun to see because of how good that last game was maybe the game of the season, going into overtime, ending on a buzzer beater, absolutely wild. But I have to go with St. John's here because Cam Jones gave a great performance. St. John's probably will be healthier now than they were in that game. And even with Cam Jones doing everything he did, Marquette, I know they missed a bunch of free throws, which kept St. John's in the game a little bit. But I feel like Marquette played a really, really good game, and St. John's still beat them. And I feel like you expect them to play a worse game next time. And St. John's, with how good they've been, I can't see them losing if Marquette doesn't play their top-notch game. And they didn't lose even when Marquette played close to their top-notch game. So I got to go with the Johnnies to advance to the semifinals. And then Creighton, UConn, this would be a really, really good game. Kalkbrenner clearly has the best center in this game, which I think gives Creighton a major advantage because UConn, especially if you can get them into foul trouble, doesn't have a ton of size or a ton of depth at the center position. They got Reed, and I'm blanking on their other center's name right now, but they got two big guys, but if you get them in foul trouble, that could cause a lot of problems. I think these teams split the season series, actually winning the road game. So UConn won at Creighton. Creighton won at UConn, I believe. And The size advantage is almost making me want to switch my pick now I think about it more to Creighton. But like I said with the Villanova game, Danny Hurley being the better coach, like having played twice, I trust him to make the better adjustments and come up with something for UConn to get this win. But something to look out for is definitely foul trouble on UConn's bigs, and then Kalkbrenner having a big game. And I'm almost talking myself into the Creighton pick. But I mean, UConn is on a 4-game winning streak, would be 5 if they reach this point. So they will be playing some of their best basketball of the season, and having 2 games of film to watch for Hurley. I think that's enough for me to pick UConn. Either way, St. John's is who I'm picking to win the Big East. I think clearly they've been the best team all year. They beat all these teams. I think you lost one conference game is when you were not fully healthy. If Devon Smith is back, this for sure St. John's. Even without him, I think they're the best team of this conference. And if they win the conference, hopefully move up to a 2 seed, because right now I saw her projected at 3. I think they deserve the 2, but they're clear cut, easy pick for me to win the Big East. Let me know what you guys think. Do you think UConn wins it? Someone else? Make sure to leave it in the comments down below. Thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Until next time.